The reflection in room 326. The first thing Emma noticed about the motel was how quiet it was. Not peaceful quiet, but dead quiet, like everything had stopped breathing. The vacancy sign buzzed faintly, casting a weak neon glow against the dusk. It was the only light in a stretch of road flanked by forest on both sides. She was the only car in the lot. Her GPS had led her here after a 10-hour drive, and she was too tired to care about appearances. She just needed sleep. Tomorrow she'd finish the last leg of her trip to visit her sister in Washington. She dragged her suitcase up to the front office, where an old man with skin like weathered leather sat behind a yellowing counter. Room 326, he said, handing her the key. Not a key card, an actual brass key on a ring. Top floor, elevators busted. You'll have to take the stairs. Emma raised an eyebrow. No other rooms available on the first or second floor. He didn't answer, just stared at her with cloudy blue eyes and a face that didn't blink. She gave a tired nod, grabbed the key, and turned away. As she ascended the creaking stairs, she noticed something strange. All the other doors were closed tight, not a sound coming from any of them. The wallpaper on the walls had peeled away in curling strips. The place smelled like dust, mildew, and something metallic underneath it all. Room 326 sat at the far end of the hallway. The key turned with effort. Inside, the room was clean, but cold. The thermostat read 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and the air felt damp. She set her bag down and clicked on the bedside lamp. Pale yellow light filled the room. There was a queen-sized bed, a desk, a dusty TV, and a large mirror mounted across from the bed. The kind of mirror you couldn't avoid looking into unless you closed your eyes. She stared at it for a moment. Her reflection stared back. Emma moved toward it, watching the mirror absorb her form. The mirror was old, its edges foggy, a spiderweb crack in the upper corner. She leaned in to examine her reflection. It looked normal, tired, but normal. Still, she didn't like it. Something about the way the room's reflection seemed slightly darker than it should be. Like the shadows were heavier in there. Shaking off the unease, she turned on the TV and collapsed on the bed. The only channel that worked was static, and the remote was missing batteries. She turned it off, undressed, and crawled under the covers. The light from the bedside lamp flickered once. Then again. She stared at it, heart starting to pound. Then it went out. Silence pressed in around her. She tried the light switch by the door, nothing. The power was out. She pulled the covers up to her chin, suddenly alert. Every creak of the building seemed louder now. The wind whistled faintly through the cracks in the window frame. Her eyes drifted back to the mirror. In the dark, it reflected nothing. Just blackness. But then something moved. She sat bolt upright, staring at the mirror. Her room was pitch black, but in the reflection, the lamp was still on, and so was she, lying in bed, unmoving. And someone was standing over her. A tall, dark figure, its face hidden by long, greasy hair, hunched over her reflected form like a vulture over a carcass. Emma turned to look behind her, nothing. Empty room. She snapped her eyes back to the mirror. The reflection still showed the figure. It slowly raised its head, as if aware of her watching. Its face was pale, bloated. The eyes were huge and round, like a dead fish. It grinned, a wide, toothless grin. Emma screamed. The mirror flashed, just for a second, and the light came back on. She was alone. The reflection now matched the room. Empty. Normal. She jumped out of bed, grabbed her bag, and bolted down the hall. The stairs seemed longer. Then she remembered. As she raced down, she passed the second floor, then the first, then the basement. But there wasn't supposed to be a basement. She skidded to a stop. The basement level was lit by flickering red lights, like a submarine emergency. The hallway was soaked in water up to her ankles. The walls pulsed, like they were alive. She turned to go back up. But the stairs were gone. In their place, a wall of mirrors. She stared at herself. No, not herself. The reflection was smiling again. That thing was back. It raised a hand and beckoned her. Emma screamed again, turned, and ran through the submerged hallway, slipping and crashing into the walls. She reached a door at the end, marked exit. She shoved it open and burst into room 326. Same room, same cracked mirror, same dead silence. She backed away slowly. In the mirror, she saw the bed, and someone lying in it. Herself. The Emma in the mirror opened her eyes. "You're not real," Emma whispered. The reflection smiled. Then it moved. Not like a mirror image, but independent. It sat up, swung its legs over the side of the bed, and walked out of the mirror. Emma couldn't move. The thing stood in front of her now, an exact copy of her, but something was wrong with its eyes. They were full of shadows, as if they were windows into something bottomless. The doppelganger leaned in and whispered in her ear. "You shouldn't have looked too long." Then it gripped her head with cold hands and slammed her into the mirror. Glass shattered around her. Pain blossomed in her skull. She fell backward, and woke up in the bed. The light was on. The room was quiet. She gasped and sat upright. The mirror was intact. She rushed to the door, opened it. Hallway looked normal. Had it all been a dream? She turned back to the mirror. Her reflection blinked once, then smiled. While she didn't, then the reflection reached out again. But this time, the mirror wouldn't break. It was on the other side. Emma's sister filed a missing person report a week later when Emma never arrived. The police eventually traced her last known location to the roadside motel, but the man at the front desk said he'd never seen her. They found room 326 empty, the bed made, no signs of a struggle. Just one thing out of place. The mirror had a bloody handprint on the inside. And in the reflection, if you looked closely, you could see someone standing in the room. Someone who looked exactly like Emma. Smiling, waiting.